हेलो अमित।
हाय सोहेल। सॉरी
क्या?
पिछले वीक मैं नहीं था यहाँ एक्चुअली,
नो
इसलिए
नो
अटेंड
प्रॉब्लम।
नहीं कर।
दैट्स ओके।
तो मैंने देखे वीडियोस देख लिए। एक एक बचा है शायद, एक दो बचे हैं शायद।
तो डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ हब एंड स्पोक इन यूडीआर? समझ में आया वो?
हब एंड स्पोक देखा, यूडीआर बचा है।
यूडीआर इज इजी, but those are in combination. I mean, if you go only for hub and spoke, you will not understand, because if you have watched those sessions, Sanmitra was asking a question which was very valid. I mean, I like that question. I like that question. It was that uh, that he said that you mentioned the virtual networks are not transitive in nature. Then in hub
हम्म।
and spoke, how the other virtual networks will talk to the network, the spoke network, which are overlapping each other. So to
हम्म।
answer that, we have a service called UDR where we define the routes. So you will have to watch them in isolation, that is fine, but it is useful only when you use both of the services, both of those services in combination. Same as our availability zone. I mean, we understood availability zone separately, right? But
राइट
unless you use it with load balancer, it's of no use. तो
राइट एग्जैक्टली।
सिमिलरली हब एंड स्पोक के साथ आपको यूडीआर जो है वो डेफिनेटली लगेगा. द सर्विस नेम इज राउट टेबल and the concept is user defined route. There are two routes: system routes and user defined routes. System routes are there by default. You cannot change them, you cannot delete them, you cannot remove them, you can only override them. It is similar to NSG. NSG में कुछ rules होते हैं, you cannot delete them, you cannot change them, but you can override them. So similarly we
राइट।
have in routes also. Yeah, so go through that video. I'm sure you will understand that. Uh, Today we'll start with migration. I'm just waiting for others to join. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, let me know. Even if no one else is joining, we will go through the session because it is being recorded. Others can watch recording.
श्योर श्योर।
Because we have been spending a lot of time, और ऐसे ही चलता होगा तो ये पूरा कभी खत्म
राइट।
होगा ही नहीं, right? So at least who are
एग्जैक्टली।
joining, to respect their time, I will complete this session. And from Jan, mid Jan, I think you guys should get calls and interviews वगैरह शुरू कर देना चाहिए. So before that we have to conduct mock interviews also, right? So we don't have
ओके।
a very immense amount of time. So let's proceed with it. Just wait for 2 or 3 minutes more. We'll see if others are joining. Meanwhile, do you have any question? Because when we start uh, the migration topic, we will be using all of the topics which we have been. That is the reason I kept migration for last as a last topic. Okay. So we will be discussing all the topics which we have been discussing, like load balancer and connectivity, VPN, and everything. Everything will come to picture when it you just imagine that it is a combination of all services which we have been doing. So do you have any questions before we proceed to migration?
Nothing as such, I will say, but the thing will be like I may need to revise topics because here and there थोड़ा बहुत शायद नहीं मिक्स अप हो गया होगा।
Mm-hmm. That is fine. वो होने ही वाला है. Any topic which you did not understand? That is the question.
नहीं, नहीं, अभी फिलहाल उसमें एक ऑप्शन था, लोड बैलेंसर का एक क्वेश्चन था जिसके अंदर एक लोड बैलेंसर में वी गेट एन ऑप्शन टू इंक्रीज द इंस्टेंसेस ऑफ लोड बैलेंसर।
Hmm.
तो वो मुझे डाउट था कि कैसे इंक्रीज होता है। फॉर एग्जांपल एक लोड बैलेंसर है, अगर एक और क्रिएट होता है तो बैकएंड कैसे ज्वाइन होते हैं ऑटोमेटिकली वगैरह।
It's very simple. Uh, I mean, see, wait, I might have a picture what you're looking for. Just give me a minute. I was on the same screen, luckily. By the way, where did you read the increasing of load balancer?
No, when we create a load balancer, there's
Huh?
an option uh, to increase the load balance instances, like we increase it for virtual machine skill set.
Hmm. Okay, let me open the portal for you. So I was working on load balancer only. I was just adding few pictures and some details. So let's see if this answers your question. If not, this I'm getting for YouTube. It's a good video. I'll share it with you.
Okay.
He has explained it well, but he has not explained the load balancer. It was just some other topic, but I found it very useful, hence I'm bringing it to our deck. Maybe the portal is open. Load balance you're talking about, right?
Yes, right.
Then I told you, Amit, if you do not understand all the things, that's completely fine. No one does that. Even your interviewer will not know everything. And they do not even expect you to know everything.
Mhm. Okay.
So it's completely fine. You should know the concept and logic clear होना चाहिए आपका. Sorry. So I'm taking a test one. Did you take standard gateway? Which one did you take? Standard? We have been practicing with standard.
ये रहे. So if you scroll down, इसमें है क्या
Public, internal.
ऑप्शन? शायद इसमें नहीं, लोड बैलेंसर नहीं. We have application gateway. Sorry, application gateway.
Okay, application gateway we did not practice, right?
Right.
Okay, I'll see. Maybe that is the reason that was missed. But good, you're practicing. I told others also that I'll show one. You can practice on other things because those are similar. Okay, so we come to application gateway standard. Is this the one you're
ये वाला.
talking about? Enable auto
Yes.
scaling. So here it is
Mm-hmm.
additional reserved capacity, which is always mentioned irrespective of the traffic, zero significance, purely auto scaling application gateway with. Okay, so let's say minimum instance count 1 will keep, maximum 10. Okay, availability zone we do not want. HTTP to it's okay. We'll create a new this one quickly. Front end. Okay, here we'll require a public IP. It's same to as our what do you say,
Load balancer.
load balancer, right? That is the reason we did not cover all 4 services, because if I explain it to you once and if it is clear to you, then there shouldn't be any problem. Okay, the backend pool test, backend pool. I hope it allows me to add. Okay, without target, let's see. Configuration, this is my front, the route table, backend pool. At least front end IP. We already have, I don't have to add route rules. Test route rules. Sanmitra joined. Hi Sanmitra.
Yes.
Priority 1. This is what we're doing. We are setting the rules as we have in this one also.
NIC.
नहीं, we are talking about here application gateway. Rules वगैरह हमने डिटेल में देखा था. यहाँ पर where did we see? Load balancer. See, if the cookie based affinity, if you remember, there we had IP based affinity. Do you guys remember load balancer mein I explained it that if a same request is coming from one particular IP, then it will in backend also it will take you to one particular machine. So similar same चीज है ये cookie based affinity के कोई user who's connecting to you frequently, so based on those saved cookies they will make sure कि backend में उसी server पे request जाए. The request timeout, this everything we have discussed here in load balancer, and that is the reason we did not cover application gateway. Okay, so we have it now, hopefully. So were you able to create it, Amit? Till here, did you come till here?
Yes, yes. I created it, but कैसे मतलब कि not sure on how to increase load कैसे increase
I
करें.
got it. I got your question. Yeah, I'm just.
कि कैसे लॉजिकली अगर सोचे तो एक का अगर दो लोड एक और एप्लीकेशन गेटवे क्रिएट होता है तो सेम बैकएंड होंगे, ये कैसे मतलब
Yes, yes,
कैसे
yes.
ट्रैफिक डिवाइड
Exactly.
होता है.
Backend वगैरह सब कुछ सेम हो गए.
ये
Because
वो
if
जो
backend keeps changing, then it is not at all a useful solution for you, right? Backend pool has to be same. Even your IP has to be same. If your IP is changing, it still doesn't help you, right? So how that
right,
works, maybe I'll cover that in a small session in different one. I just wanted to create
right.
this for you because today's topic I want to dedicate for migration. But
Okay.
I'll just give you a glance how. Let's say this is your application gateway. This is your app gateway. Okay. And at the back end, you have your rules. Rules you have defined, and the backend pool you have defined that in that backend pool you could have two servers or services or whatever you are hosting there. That and then you have your rules in combination. This is working in coordination of everything. It is working, right? It is not isolated. So when you say instance increase, the only this thing which is public facing, this will increase, and there is another layer, a front layer here. Here your public IP is. This is your public IP. Yeah, this is your public facing IP. So now it is one. Based on those rules which will define if the traffic goes extra or something, there's another one will be created, and this will work as a pool then. But ultimately there will be only one IP, and the backend will be same for all of them. How that we will do, we'll set up, and maybe once the migration is done, once the migration is done, I'm sure there will be some questions or कुछ topics होंगे जहाँ पर, because this the deployment takes a lot of time. If you see, इसमें ही काफी time लग रहा है. Right? So I don't want to
हाँ.
spend today's time in this one, but we'll do this definitely. It's not very a tough understanding. You will get it very easily. Okay, so I'll leave it and we'll move to migration. Today we are not doing any practical, not at all. Maybe I'll just show you some services or etc. But majority theory part we are covering today. Okay. So migration. Just a minute, guys. Okay, migration, guys. Most important, mostly asked and must ask question. Majority of the work we have, is for migration, because now there are hundreds of companies or thousands of companies which are still running on-prem. I hope you understand when I say on-prem, right?
Right.
Right. It's in the migrations topic. If you do not understand a single thing, do ask, do not hesitate, because there will be no interview where they won't ask about migration. Why? Because as I was explaining, there are thousands of companies in today's date also, as of today also, There are thousands of companies which are running their infrastructure on-prem. They have racks, they have servers, they have storage, they have everything, data center running as it is. They have Linux stuff, they have Windows stuff, they have networking stuff, and they're spending too much on that. Okay. Now they want to move to cloud. And not every company will have that expertise. Even if they have their Windows guys, they have their networking guys, they have their storage guys, or they have their backend security, everything the team is available. Despite of having all those teams, it is still not possible for them to move to cloud. They will require some cloud experts. So they will approach companies who take care of that. And that is how work generate. So the major work is of migration. Obviously, there are other work, new onboarding and everything is there, but the major work is still migration. And that is the reason in interview, if they are considering you for support or for implementation team. Now when I say implementation team, actually that is what we are going to show your current profile as an implementation team. Okay, even if you're coming as in an implementation team, the implementation could be for new users or a new company. Let's say I am planning to open a company, a small company. I have an idea like Swiggy. Okay, though it's an old idea, but let's assume that I have an idea like a Swiggy. I don't want to spend tens of lakhs or maybe a crore rupees on purchasing server and purchasing an AC to control the environment of my data center, applying a security guard, etc. ये सब नहीं करना है मुझको. I don't have that much of funds. And even if I get a loan, I don't know if my idea will work or not. Right? So I want something which is temporary. Okay, if my idea doesn't work, at least I can dispose it very quickly. That's where cloud comes to picture. I will hire a company. If I have expertise, it's fine, or I'll approach a company that this is my idea, this is my code, and can you please guide me how to host this on cloud? And the cloud company, that company, whoever, a CSP or any company, cloud service provider, those will help that particular business to onboard on clients. So that's where their architecture team, first the sales team and everything work is done, then the architecture team will start working with them. Okay, what is your expectation in first month or maybe from first year? How many users are you expecting? All the business case and architectural diagram and everything will be done by architect team. Now what they want someone to implement that, right? So implementation team will do that from scratch. That this company doesn't have a footprint on cloud at all, and they don't even have anything on-prem. So that is called new onboarding. That is one of your job responsibilities, that you will be doing new onboardings, but that is still in a in a small scale nowadays. Even if new companies are coming, that is fine. Uh, that is still the chunk of work. It is at the small scale. Major work what you will get, see, this is one kind of work that where you get the new onboarding. For implementation team it is same work. For maybe architecture team it could be different, कि किसी नए customer को onboard करना, that could be different, and migration that could be different. But for implementation team it's almost one and same thing. Why? Because even if you're onboarding a new customer, you will have to create things. Can one of you tell me that, let's say that I am coming to you, you are the cloud expert, that I want to host sub service, I have a website, I have an IT training institute, and I want you to help me to host my uh, cloud and host my infrastructure on cloud. I have my website ready, I don't want you to develop. Okay, I'm not talking about the application is ready with me. I just want you to host my infrastructure on that. So what are the services are needed? What would you suggest, Sanmitra or Amit? From scratch, what comes to your mind? And this is I'm talking the new onboarding, right? Okay. I told you, I think I've been telling this to you. When it comes to migration, we'll go to portal. I'll show you the migration. Okay, I will definitely show you the migration. We will not finish this batch without uh, doing an a real migration of virtual machines. We'll do that. But most important here is the theory part, because in your 45 minutes interview, no one is going to share his or her screen or ask to share your screen and do a migration. No one is going to do that. We have never done in interviews which we take. We never got that question. और जितने भी interviews मैंने facilitate किए have never seen that question कि किसी ने ये कर दिया हो आपको माइग्रेशन के लिए प्रैक्टिकल के लिए स्क्रीन शेयर कर दी और they asked you to share your screen. Never happens. But how they assess you on migration then? Based on your story, based on your knowledge, based on your theory. So practical, it is important. We'll do that for sure, no doubt in that. But the important part is theory. You will have to explain it. And that is the reason I am explaining it in detail, step by step. So coming back to my question, there is a new onboarding. A company has approached your company. Okay. Excuse the spellings, guys, if there are any mistakes. So a company A, or let's say Tsoft solution, okay, Tsoft solutions, they have approached UT-Kloud. That is fine. I am also an IT company or a training, but I don't have cloud expertise. Okay, I am into development and testing and etc. And I don't want to go ahead and hire someone in cloud. Why won't I just outsource it to you? Okay, I'm into development and testing. I have hired UT-Kloud. They are into cloud. They have cloud expertise. Okay, Amit and Sanmitra. You are a part of that team. You have been introduced to client from UT-Kloud, and now you are helping them to start their footprint on cloud. So what questions you will be asking, that is a different thing. Okay. One more thing, guys, I would like to add. Whatever we are discussing here now in this session, maybe tomorrow's session, next session, majority of the time we will be spending in theory. And all these concepts and everything, all these apply to architecture team. You will never have to do it. Trust me on this. You will never have to do this questioning, this designing, this understanding. You will never have to do it. 100%. uh, in my previous company also, trust me, our implementation team, we I mean, they did not even understand this concept, but we are still fine with it because it wasn't their job. We just had them to implement our solution. I don't want to talk about same company, but it's almost similar everywhere. Okay, that is fine. That is completely acceptable. You won't have to do a single task out of this, which we will be discussing now. But on the contrary, all of these questions will be asked to you in your interview. That is also for sure. I hope you got it. I did not confuse you, right? So
No,
just
it's
to
clear.
give you comfort, I'm letting you know that it is not your job. Architecture team will be there. They will do it everything. Sales team initially, they do the very basic things, sales and everything that is run. The core technical thing when it comes, architecture team is there. Implementation team, what they get to implement. Okay, so even if you understand implementation, that is fine. But you cannot say while when you show your experience, because for all of you, what we are planning to show that you have been working on Azure from 1 year or 2 year. So even if you're not a part of architecture team, if even if you're a part of implementation team, you closely work with them. Okay, and if you are claiming to have an experience of 2 years, these are the basic things you understand. Maybe you're not an expert of this, but it is expected out of you to understand this. So you cannot say simply I am a part of implementation team and I get only steps, SOPs, click here, click there, click here, click there, and that is what I used to do. If that was the case, they can hire a fresher from engineering pass out college or anyone, a campus recruitment for 3 LPA, and they will get their job done, right? They won't pay you 15 or 16 LPA. They won't do that. So though your job is only implementation, but understanding of this concept should be there. Again, it is not your job. You won't explain it in your interview that I used to do it. You will just explain the process. You will tell them I know the process because I closely work with architecture team. I know the process. This is what they do. This is what they do. Sometimes I am also a part of that call, just as an spectator. Okay, and based on experience, uh, you can say sometimes I have also given some inputs. I'll give you a specific story also कि यार आर्किटेक्चर टीम ने इस तरह से इसको ये कर दिया था, सेल कर दिया था, और मे बी दे laid out a diagram like this, or they suggested a solution like this, but based on my experience I knew that in this situation more than this XYZ solution will work, and instead of ABC, XYZ solution will work. So I had given my input. and that work I was appreciated by client. इस तरह की story आप लोगों को बनानी है, right? And trust me, this is going to help you in your interview. Jargons, story, one incident, and you're done. Clear to both of you? Any confusion?
No.
Sarmitra?
No.
Clear, right? I'm
No.
telling you guys
Yes.
again and again, any question in migration, please do ask. Most of the time we are doing theory और यहीं से आपका interview का भी जो है शुरू हो ही जाता है, ठीक है? So yeah, so Sanmitra and Amit, let's say that you are a part of this team from UT, you are presenting UT-Kloud. There is a company called T-Soft Solution. They have come to you that we are starting. I have a startup idea. Okay, I have my teachers, my development, my website is everything ready. You don't worry about the application. You help me to onboard on client. So what comes to your mind? It's okay, don't think about wrong and incorrect or correct. What comes to your mind? What are the components? How will you start? What is the very first thing you will require? What comes to your mind? You say, I'll just start typing. We'll do the assessment later whether it is correct or incorrect. Bullet points.
So they
Aditya.
have everything. Their requirements and everything is clear. They just want to move on to cloud.
No,
Is it?
it's not movement. I clearly mentioned
No,
here.
no, sorry. As in they want to start on cloud as it.
Yes. It could be any
Okay.
cloud, but because you are an Azure expert, you're talking about Azure. Client will come, see again, that comes at the architecture level. For architect team, the client will never, I mean, with my personal experience also, I'm saying with my current project also, client is never bothered about the cloud company. Client will come with a business issue. They expect us to give a technical solution. He'll say, I want to save some money. You give me AWS, you give me GCP, you give me Azure, it's your hectic. But if you're giving a solution, you're liable to answer that why did you give that? If let's say that being an architect, if I suggest something to my client, a banking client where I'm currently working, let's say that I suggest him that use XYZ service for your database. Okay. And later on he comes to know, yeah, this service is hardly available in my region. It was recently introduced. It is not even trustworthy service for my region to host my crucial and critical application. This is very new service. Then we will be questioned that based on why did you suggest this? Why are you selling Azure? Why did you suggest this service? Instead of Azure, this service, we have AWS in that region from last 5 years, and it is stable. We have history, we have reports also to show, we have data to justify our answer. This also happens, guys. Okay, so client will never come to you with a name or something unless they have very specific information. Client will just come by, I want to get into cloud. Because you are Azure expert, now we'll talk about Azure, or this class is about Azure, so we'll just talk about Azure. I'm just giving you the scenarios now. As I told you, our interview preparation also starts from this session, so I will be sharing these details now. Okay, actual में कैसा होता है when you get a work, but again when it comes to implementation team, तब तक सब clear हो चुका होता है. Okay, implementation में ऐसा नहीं आने वाला है कि okay, Amit and Sarmitra, you are from implementation team. I am from architecture team. Okay, this is our client. He has asked for a machine. I have decided what kind of machine he wants. Do one thing, implement it in Azure or AWS, wherever you like. No, that is not going to happen. When it comes to you, you will have very specific information. Which subnet, which VNet, which resource group. If there is no, create one. Everything will be very specific to you. Still, that does not mean, I keep repeating myself, so it gets into your head. That does not mean that you can simply say, I don't know. मेरे पास तो आता था तो सब कुछ बना बनाया आता था SOP. You cannot say that. That shouldn't be your answer at all. You should know the process. Okay. But post that you can say, no, I am not a decisive authority. I am not a decision making authority. Once we get something in a ticket or a form or something, everything will be there. Maybe you won't have a specific IP address. Okay, maybe they will ask you to create a subnet or something. Range will be given, but something will be given. You will not be left with this kind of situation that you decide AWS or Azure. That part is already done at the architecture team. Is it clear till here, guys?
Yes.
Yes. So please start, Sanmitra or Anmit, anyone. A new client, new onboarding, T-Soft Info Solution. comes to UT-Kloud, you are a part of the team, and let's say this is a client meeting or client interview. By the way, what we do in our team also, and it's just not only our team, the architecture team, what they do, they schedule interviews with client, and maybe their CTO, their CFO, to get every information, to fetch out the information, that how much are you spending now, how much are you willing to spend, what is your future budget, what is your past 2 years budget, uh, talking to chief technology officers, what are technologies you are using currently, do you have any agreement with any of the vendors. This is, I'm talking about migration. Yeah, for new onboarding, obviously these questions will not apply. That do you have any agreement with your current physical vendor that you have already paid for 10 years or you have to pay for 10 years. We have to consider all these factors before laying any diagram or laying any plan for them. Okay, so let's say that you are also interviewing a client or someone. So what will you ask or what will you suggest for new onboarding?
The
Being a
very
company,
first thing,
sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, Amit. Being a company, Tsoft, and this is what HLD, guys, what I have been talking about. There are high level diagrams, there's low level diagram. A company, a new onboarding company, or a migration company who wants to migrate their workload. So it's a migration or new onboarding. Both of them will definitely come with an HLD. An HLD is nothing, it's high level diagram. What is there in high level diagram? And whenever I say, guys, diagram, do not understand this or do not take this as in literally a diagram. It is a complete set of documents and a docket, you can say, a dossier of their application or current infrastructure. It could have anything. Let's say if this is onboarding, so what will I have? What will I have? My application code. Does not mean that they will share their code. That where is it saved from? Where can we pick application code path? I can say, to be precise. They'll say the application type. But again, this is not the sufficient information. They hardly share 10 or 15 things, and then we have to interview them and fetch out of the other information. And based on that, we have to create, we as in, I'm talking about I told you already, all these discussions, we're talking about the architect team. So based on that, we have to create LLD, which is low level diagram. And LLD will have everything, which service to be used, what IPs to be used, uh, which region to be used, everything. Low level diagram, I cannot leave you with ambiguity. Okay, so high level diagram, which we get from client. Low level diagram, we deliver to client. In between, we do interviews, assessments, and there are many activities, and we do not directly deliver. Okay, it's not like that okay, what is it today, 3rd December? Okay, 4th December I received high level diagram. 1 week I've taken the interviews, and okay, then I would require one month to work, and maybe in 1st of February I'm delivering it to you, and don't disturb me till that time. No, that is not the case. In between these also will have n number of meetings, guys, because I never want to create the complete plan for them, and at the end client says, no, this is not what I want. So wherever we go step by step, let's say that I plan to I design a landing zone setup for them. So the moment my blueprint is ready, I'll have a meeting with them. This is what I'm thinking about, this is our approach. Are you aligned with us? Do you think it is suitable for your business? Do you have any inputs? We have their architects also. Okay, they are not blind, they will cross check also. We cannot give just anything out of the air to them. We cannot do that. Okay, so we have to cross verify, and we have to take approvals also from them. So this is how it goes. So yes, Sanmitra or Amit. Yeah. Sorry, Amit, you are saying something.
the first thing will be to understand
Hmm.
the requirement, right? For example, if they have a web application,
Let's say they've given, let's say they've given the application type, they have given the application code path, what kind of high availability they want, what kind of disaster recovery they want. Okay, what kind, matlab they will not say this. Okay, but they will say, ठीक है, I need high availability, I need disaster recovery. Okay, where are the spectators are coming from? So they have given it is coming only from US. I'm not giving my services out of US, or could be very specific also. Okay, in US also, maybe they are just coming from one particular state, or maybe one particular city. Let's say New York City. They're just, I'm giving my services only to New York City. Okay, or in UK, London, anything could be. Okay, you have got all this information. Now what? I'm not
so
expecting an answer from you to the service level. I told you it's not your job, and I'm not even spending time on that. We don't even have to do that. Okay. I'm expecting the core answers, which is irrespective of the application, irrespective of the nature of the application, which will apply. So what do you think are required things? Yeah. Don't be application specific. Forget that. You don't even have to go till there. What do you think very first thing you'll have to do? Yes, Sanmitra, Amit. Anything I told you, forget right, wrong, ko chhod do. Whatever comes to your mind.
So we have all the requirements, everything is there.
Ha. Even if
So
it
what
is
will
not there, let's assume that you have assume whatever you want.
so if it's cost, as per that we can suggest, right? If
Forget,
like
I'm saying
infrastructure
forget
as a
everything.
service or platform as a service.
I am asking the foundation steps from you guys. Be it infrastructure or a PaaS. What is the first thing you will require?
Tenant.
Tenant, right. This is the approach I'm looking for. Tenant. Now, tenant is something that you buy a place on Azure. Who does that? Who is responsible for this? Again, guys, I'm telling you, it is not your part. Implementation team तक नहीं आता, क्या आने तक subscription वगैरह सब कुछ बना होता है already. Resource group सब कुछ होता है. Tenant. Now, tenant is something which is like buying a domain or something, right? On this one, on cloud, on Azure. Who does that? Who does that? It is the CTO of the company, Chief Technology Officer, or Chief Financial Officer, or CEO, or maybe director of that project. Okay, these guys will use most of the time company credit card. Okay, company credit card, or EA, which is enterprise agreement. Based on these are the solutions which they use. Okay, mostly pay as you go bhi ho sakta hai, kuch bhi ho sakta hai. There's only 1 minute is left. As soon as it is finishes, we'll start without any break using the same link. Yes, what next? So
then
is
we
it
need
clear, guys? I'm
Active
going step by step and I'm telling you who are the responsible persons. Okay, again, this is not a part of your job, current job also. You don't have to show it and you won't even do it, but you need to know how it works. Okay, this is something architect team will guide them how to purchase, or they will purchase it on behalf of them. They will do the dealing with Microsoft on behalf of them. If it is a huge environment where they want to go with enterprise agreement. If it is just a matter of buying a subscription or just setting up credit card and payment, we'll ask their director to do it, and they will do it. That is